Hey guys, so I just got done watching Mandalorian and Grogu, and I'm going to give you guys my review and just my thoughts on the movie. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so I'm not going to spoil anything for you, just give you sort of an overall um, breakdown, I guess, of what I thought about the movie, a review. So, for me, I thought it was good and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as good as I think a movie for Mandalorian and Grogu should be, if that makes sense. Um, it almost felt like maybe two episodes of the Mandalorian series, which season one and two of the Mandalorian was like some of my favorite of any movie or show or anything because it was that good. Season 3, I didn't care for that much. There's a few episodes that I liked, but overall, I didn't care for it very much. So, this movie to me is like right in between. It's not as good as season 1 and 2 of Mandalorian, but it is better than season 3. So, so I think it's still really good. It's just not quite as good as I feel like a movie should be, um, but it was really good. And I feel like the biggest thing for this is, or the Mandalorian just in general, is after Moff Gideon, they struggle to find a good villain or enemy character to really fill that role because he was really good in season 1 and 2, and that's why they sort of brought him back. In case you haven't seen season 3, he does come back, um, but after Moff Gideon, they have sort of a hard time finding a, a main villain for the Mandalorian to sort of go up against. There was a lot of CGI characters, which I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I like Mandalorian better when he's fighting like stormtroopers or just like bounty hunters or something like that, which this did have a lot of that, but I feel like it had more of CGI characters that he was fighting, which I felt like could have been more balanced to where he was fighting more like stormtroopers or just regular characters rather than a bunch of CGI creatures or stuff like that. But overall, I liked it quite a bit. Mandalorian and Grogu or Baby Yoda are some of my favorite characters of anything, and I'm not a real big Star Wars fan in general, so that says quite a bit. They're actually what got me into liking Star Wars. Um, I mean, I'm still not a huge fan of Star Wars, but I actually wanted to go back and watch some of the Star Wars movies because of season 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Um, so, and I feel like the character development for Mandalorian and Grogu is another thing that they struggle with because they're both sort of simple characters to where they don't have an extreme amount of depth for those characters. So I didn't feel like there was a whole lot of growth or character development for them. But then again, we sort of already know these characters and we get the gist of who they are. We don't necessarily need to go super in depth with these characters to just have a good time with them and enjoy the cute moments with Grogu and the bond between the two of them. And Zeb. Zeb was a good addition. I do wish we would have gotten a little bit more of him, but I understand with being a CGI character, that costs a lot. But with all the other CGI creatures and characters in this movie, I feel like we could have had more of Zeb. I really enjoyed him in it. But I feel like, in a way, this movie was almost divided into two separate plots where it almost feels like two episodes of like The Mandalorian. It was still good once again, but I just felt like, I don't know, felt like it wasn't one cohesive story as much. I mean, it all connected, but I just felt like, I don't know, it felt like two separate stories sort of crammed together in a way. Um, but I really enjoyed it. Action, and I think all the visual effects looked pretty good. I didn't really see anything that stood out to where I was like, oh, that's noticeable. You know, maybe if I'd watch it again, maybe, and pay closer attention, maybe, but there's nothing like real obvious that stood out to me, like, oh man, that looks horrible, or anything like that. Everything looked pretty good to me. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And yeah, if I had to give it a rating from 1 to 10, I think I would give it like 7.5, I think. Somewhere around there. Because, I mean, it was good and fun, and I enjoyed it. But I just feel like it was lacking in some areas. But the action was definitely one of the best parts. Had a lot of action, which I really enjoy. Um, and the Jabba son, I can't remember his name, but he really stood out as probably one of the best characters in the film, honestly. He sort of gave this whole story a little more depth and heart. So I think he stood out for that. So there was a little bit of heart in it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. So let me know if you guys have seen it or if you're going to go see it, what you thought of it, all that stuff. So thank you for watching.